This deli tray's unacceptable.
Yes, we are 4 episodes into the AHSOKA Tano series. That means we're halfway done, and there are so many loose ends to tie up. I don't want to talk about those, though. Why not? I don't know. Maybe I'll get into that in another video, but there's something else I wanted to talk about today, and that's Ahsoka's duel with Marok, the green fart. Yes, and there is something in it that a lot of people haven't caught. I don't think anybody's really said anything about it, but I'm going to talk about it here. There's something that's different. Something that's been burning in my brain ever since I saw it. And I even shouted it out to my wife when we were watching it, and she's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." And that's acceptable for me. What this shows is Ahsoka Tano's character is being so well written that tiny details are being thrown in that we don't really catch. Well, some of us do. I'm sure somebody out there saw it and said something about it. I just haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to talk about it myself. And that is the duel between her and Marok and how her fighting style is. So I'm going to go into some of the forms of lightsaber dueling, preferably form 5, and that of another character that should have been hinted at in this moment if we would have all caught it. But before I get into it, I do want to give a shout out to this video's sponsors. No, they didn't sell me anything. I don't have any products to try for them, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. Just people that like my videos and want to be sponsors. The first is CAD2988. The second is Eclipsed. The third is David Davis Jr. And the fourth is Arwen Oofel. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Now, here's their message.
This Star Wars channel is fun. More fun than listening to K-pop for a week straight. Yes, it's even more fun than slapping yourself in the face with a tennis racket. And it's even more fun than stepping in poop barefooted. Human poop. Stepping on Legos? Not even close. By subscribing, you're telling me that you love Star Wars and hate having your hair cut by a podiatrist. Don't be afraid. Subscribe now and have all your Star Wars needs met in one convenient place. Good job. Now go forth and bask in euphoria.
Yeah, bask in it. Subscribe to the channel if you want. Or don't. It's up to you. Alright, so let's get back to the Ahsoka Tano series, the newest of the Star Wars franchise. And I haven't seen many haters about it ever since episode 3 or 4. That's good. Star Wars fans are liking it. That's awesome. And we're going to talk about Marok, the one that after episode 2, everybody thought was Starkiller, or a lot of people did. Myself, I thought was a new character, possibly based on Starkiller, but yeah, that didn't turn out so well, did it? Oh well. And that just shows that every Star Wars character that is new introduced into any of these series does not have to be someone we've seen before. In fact, it's probably better that they aren't. But this lightsaber duel between Ahsoka Tano and Marok had a deeper meaning, and it should have hinted, or at least been the first hint, that Anakin Skywalker was going to show up at some point in this episode. Ahsoka Tano starts off using her traditional Form 5 Shein, and it's a great stance for deflecting blaster bolts and fighting weaker enemies against lightsabers. Not so much powerful enemies, but once Ahsoka Tano notices that Marok actually might have some skills, she switches it up. She's still using Form 5, but it's different. In the beginning, she was using her traditional reversed grip on her lightsaber and doing rather well at defending against Marok. But it seemed like it was becoming a little bit taxing, and that Marok was a little more powerful than she had thought he could be as an Inquisitor. Generally, Inquisitors weren't as strong as seasoned Jedi. In fact, it may have even reminded her of her duel with Maul on Mandalore. And in that duel, she also switched her form, still using Form 5, but using Form 5 Gemso, which is aggressive in its own way and more powerful against those who know what they're doing with the lightsaber. And Ahsoka Tano was trained by the one man who was a master of Form 5 Gemso, and that's Anakin Skywalker. Now everybody can say, yeah, okay, so she showed a little bit of his training in her stance and her form, and that's true. But there's one instance where you can really see Anakin Skywalker's training shining through on her. And in Anakin Skywalker versus Count Dooku in their final duel, while rescuing Senator Palpatine, or Chancellor Palpatine at the time, Anakin switches his up just a little bit with another variation of Gemso. where he raises his lightsaber above his head, exposing his chest and stomach. And during Ahsoka Tano's fight with Marok, she does the same thing, the same move. Raises her lightsaber above her head for a more powerful attack, but exposing her chest and stomach. It's almost as if they're saying, hey, come get some. Any experienced lightsaber duelist, a Jedi or Sith or anything, would know this form and would understand that this is a trap. Don't fall for it, but you're in the middle of a duel. Why not take advantage of an exposed area, other than being deflected by a powerful counterattack? And when I first saw this in the Ahsoka series, I said, oh my God, she just switched to Form 5 Jim-So, and she is going to destroy Marok. And that's exactly what happened. And, I mean, as disappointed as I was that Marok was defeated, it clicked something in my head. And I didn't really catch it until the end of the episode. And I thought, man, there's something up with that. There's something up with her changing her stance to Jim-So with her lightsaber over her head. And at the final scene of the episode, when Anakin Skywalker shows up, I thought, aha, that's why they did it. They were hinting at it. And that's one thing the Ahsoka series is doing so great. They're taking tiny details and adding them in for anyone who's paying really close attention to see. And Ahsoka Tano changing her lightsaber stance or form really didn't click in anybody's head. It shouldn't have. It should have just been one of those, hey, that reminds me of Anakin. Cool. And, you know, Anakin trained her, so why wouldn't she have a hint of his fighting style within her? But there are also those tiny details that throw up smoke and mirrors to throw us off track, such as when Shin Hati, yeah, that's it, and Marok are flying in, they see the Purrgil, and Marok regards them almost with nervousness and fear and falls back a little bit. And we are meant to believe that Marok knows something about the Purrgil that he should be afraid of. Maybe he's had PTSD from these lumbering creatures that crash into ships for no reason. And so that detail really meant nothing in the end. And with Marok being such a cool character, I think he's probably the best Inquisitor I've seen in live action or otherwise, or animated or in the video game. And as, you know, upset as I was that Marok was taken out, I liked the way they took him out. I'm not upset that my theory was halfway wrong, and nobody else should be either. It was a cool way to explain why there's a Inquisitor some 7, 8, 9 years after the Empire fell. And with Ahsoka Tano changing her form from Xi'an to Jim-So, it is a detail that is very important. Not just because Anakin Skywalker showed up at the end of the episode, but also because Ahsoka Tano was trained by Anakin Skywalker, and showing her in live action actually adopting some of his training forms makes a whole lot of sense. And it makes this show so much better even than it already is. But I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below. Was this just something that I picked up on for no reason, or are you excited about it as well? Did you notice it when you first watched the episode? And what do you think of Marok and how he went out? Let me know. I'd like to know. And before I conclude this video, here's another quick word from this channel's 4 sponsors, or at least this video's 4 sponsors.
Subscribe now, and know that I will do everything I can to help you get through the trauma of stepping barefoot in human poop. I can't guarantee that I can stop it from happening, but know that I am here for you if you do. I also talk about Star Wars, constantly. Subscribe and like, and let's get this channel over 50,000 subscribers to show the haters they are alone.
So, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic. Until the next video, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I wish you all great health, happiness, and peace. Remember, this is the way. And positivity in the Star Wars community can be the only way.